Welcome to the Four Rings Inn for another
Woo!
episode of City of Shadows. Last episode was the grand funeral of Eleanor Quillen. Across the entire city, a procession, as well as the more private celebration of life at the Temple of Everin. The paintings and drawings of Eleanor, of her companions, the ones that remain, at least, gifted to them by her father Kier, and a brief meeting with, or a touching moment with Yanis Gore, an old family friend between him and Renshor, before the funeral concluded and everyone parted their ways. And as the gloom of the funeral of a great Count Heir rolls over the city, more horror is yet in store around the corner.
Our characters aren't safe.
No one. Are you ready for a scary story? The next morning, the morning of the 6th of Asha, begins with a roll of thunder and a downpour of rain. The waves of showers patter against window panes and the slated rooftops as citizens of Thalia shuffle around, trying to get back to everyday life, despite the trauma of the attack of the depraved, which hasn't happened in over 50 years. The streets just recently cleaned, and the shock of the death of a count and a viscount. Our two highborns, Orianna and Renshor, make their way through the rainy streets to the office of one priest Chamith, a priest of Amira. One that both of you have met before, Renshor. You've been introduced to Chamith, being how close he is to Orianna. But it's probably been a while since the last time you had an interaction with Chamith.
I saw him at the Temple of Ryan.
That's right. Oh, that's absolutely right.
And
yes, the two of you arrive to his office, coming inside from the rain, shaking off your wet cloaks and umbrellas, and are greeted with the smell of incense, the warmth of a fire lit, and you can hear in the other room the bustling of papers and books and movement of his shoes.
Is his office in the Temple of Amira? Are they connected?
Yeah, it's not immediately in the Asphodel Square, but it is immediately surrounding it.
Okay.
I will just knock on the door frame. Chamith? Are you in here?
Yes, yes. Come on in. You're welcome in. I've made some new additions to the study. Hopefully they won't be too upsetting. But come on in. There's tea on the stove. Help yourself.
I wrote to you. I brought Renshor here.
Oh, yes, of course.
Hi, Chamith.
You see at this point he peeks his head out of the side room. His hair is a mess. He's wearing his sleeping robe. He has a cup of tea in his hands. It does not look like he went to bed last night, but he also looks in good spirits. He goes, Master Renshor, it's a pleasure to have you here. Have you been keeping up with your Vignacci?
No.
That is okay. And he turns to Orianna and goes, We'll get him back. Get him back going.
Yeah. So like I had written earlier, Renshor I think is gonna try to help with our problem.
Yes, of course. And as he says this, he, without like any real warning aside from his body language, he comes up and gives both of you like this big hug and squeezes you both tight, whether you want it or not. He just comes in for this big hug and goes, something bad has happened and you both need a hug. Take it, embrace it. And he kind of takes a step back and keeping a hand on each of your shoulders and goes, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm trying not to think about it too much. You know, can't dwell too hard. But it is incredibly hard.
Oh, of course. Dwelling, no. But processing, yes. We cannot change what happened, but we must learn to live with that sadness. It will be with us forever. And we have to learn what that is like.
Very wise, Chamith.
Thank you. You'd be shocked at how often my students fail to tell me how wise I am. Can I interest you in some tea?
Yeah.
Certainly, yes.
Excellent. He goes and begins to pour a couple cups. As he's working, pouring them, he goes, Orianna, I must say, Elda was unable to make it today. She has been absolutely swamped with work since the Pristine dictated there will be new students in at the institute.
Oh, yeah, I believe it. I mean, I'm rather her be there teaching students than be here. Any day.
Yes. I appreciate her help for sure, but she is an excellent teacher, and I am glad that her skills are getting put to good use. I just wish her students were voluntary students and not elected by the Pristine.
Conscripted.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
not.
Yes.
They're not voluntary. They were just choosing.
Oh.
We're like taking them.
Yeah.
You must.
I know.
not have heard.
I heard that they were opening up like more applications. I thought like I knew we were getting a larger classes, but I didn't realize
Yes,
we were forcing
applications.
kids in.
Yeah, applications is a. That may have been the word that the high priest used, but it's more of a dictation from the formal schools around the city to send children with an aptitude. How do they word it? Aptitude for public service.
Yes, I believe that was the public.
Oh, how do they choose that among children?
They're teachers, apparently. And apparently quite a select few were chosen. Again, Elda has been... Her class size is going to double for her age range alone. The school is going to be filled to the brim.
Yeah. Wow.
Come, make yourself at home. Again, we've made some new additions to the study, and as he takes you into where, kind of like his library, you see where there are still, bookshelves and books laying about, but on the table that had most of his active study material previously has been completely cleared off, and there's a range of alchemy components that have been set up on this table. You see vials with a bunch of different colors of red, some kind of red liquid, some kind of black liquid, you see swatches of like brown and black matted fur, which are in like cans that are not like cans, but jars with some kind of liquid to preserve them. You see eyeballs floating in liquid. You see like hearts and livers and all these different organs in preservatives here. Some kind of alchemical solution is boiling and going through tubes, and steam is whistling out the other end. And Renshor, you see the sphere that Eleanor had found is sitting on a stand in this room with, it looks like, different pieces of paper and notes taken alongside of it, as well as a bunch of books laying about. If you could actually give me a perception check for me. Cool. You see.
Chamith, Orianna hasn't quite caught me up to speed. What have you been doing?
Well, and you give me an insight check as you ask that.
5.
He didn't roll well, but he did roll better than a 5.
Would have been great. Roll on a d6.
He goes, well, Orianna has been in a bit under the weather, not just due to the circumstances of the last few days, but a little more long-term than that. And you see Orianna, he is looking at you, like, trying to get a read of how much you've told him, or if you want to jump in and like...
Yeah,
I think he's trying to get a feel.
I wrote him a letter previously in the morning, kind of explaining a little bit of how, like, what Renshor knows. And I think I'm kind of giving him the same vibe that I kind of gave him when Eleanor also came.
Okay. Yeah. He goes, yes.
Yes, I've gathered the whole curse thing.
Oh, excellent. Good. That's 90% of the problem. Yes, Orianna is horrifically cursed. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I haven't seen anything this bad in my entire life, if I'm being honest.
You don't be dramatic about it.
He turns to Orianna and just gives you a big smile, but you're holding up great. And I tell you, it's the Vignacci that's doing it. The more that you focus your feelings and emotions, the more that you resist the powers of evil in general. And that goes for your whole life, not just curses.
I mean, it has been helping. I can't disagree with you at all. It does help, especially with certain feelings and keeping everything together.
Most certainly. I've been told that both of you have been spending a little more time together than initially after the incident. Renshor, have you noticed any... What symptoms of the curse have you noticed?
Hopefully not much.
I kind of looked to Orianna for a second, like he knows everything, right? Like, there's nothing I know that I can't, like, share, right?
Yeah, I gestured to you, like, hopefully not much, but I'm curious on what you've picked up on the last couple days.
All I've noticed is the black blood and
yes,
the wings.
The wings. What's wrong with the wings? And he turns to Orianna. Are your wings not... I guess that makes sense. I didn't even think of the wings. Well, and he turns back and goes, well, I have made a little bit of progress in the last few hours, to be honest, and turns and motions to a rack of vials with these, like, thick liquid in. And he goes, see, this first vial is a vial of my blood. You see how it's a nice crimson red? The second one is a vial of your blood. It is certainly not crimson red, which is not good. However, it is distinctly different from these other 3 vials, which were all taken from the depraved killed around the city, which is a very good sign. You do not have the blood of a depraved. Which, for a little bit, I was worried
a question? About. Oh.
I was concerned. It was a theory. Look.
It's just a theory.
Just a theory. You see, he kind of moves over to his books, and he goes, if I'm being honest, it's been a lot of theories for the last couple months. 10 or so weeks. 11 weeks now? 12 weeks? What's today?
Yeah, I'm losing track of
I believe
how long.
11 days, 11 weeks, 3 days.
11 weeks, 3 days. Excellent.
Not that I was counting.
No, your sense of
11
timekeeping
weeks
is
and 3 days, I think, since we broke up.
Yeah, that's the timestamp I know.
Well, that's probably fairly close. And he kind of strides around the room, and he goes, how much do you both know about breaking curses? I, for the most part, know how much Orianna knows, but Renshor, how much do you know about breaking curses?
Well, I knew information, I don't think I said last time. I think the identity of our favorite cultist here, I don't know if you know Resbin von Fair, if you've ever heard of him, but I think he's the guy with the sphere that I've been looking for. And so...
Resbin von Fair, you say?
Yeah, he was the guy at the library that day.
You see, he kind of props up and then begins to move through his books.
And also, I think if my memory serves me right, Renshor, did the Spindle Maiden say, is he undead? Is there something...
That was her, or near to her words, yes. But he also might just be dead now. They only recovered one of the mages from that theater alive. So his sphere might be in the possession of Dayborn or whoever's working that.
At that point, you see Chamith pulls a book out of his stack, flips over, and goes, you mean this, Resbin? And hands you a textbook. The textbook is called Uncovering Our Ancestors, A History of Old Dahlia, dated 1599.
Do I have this book?
You have not seen this book.
Because I have something about ancestors, don't I? Oh no, I have Blacksbane Counts and Viscounts and their lineage.
Yes.
Never mind, sorry.
And it is authored by one Resbin von Fair.
I mean, I don't know if it's the same guy, but I mean, it's the same name, so...
Interesting.
Huh. I don't know how many people go by the name Resbin.
Yeah, it's not a very popular name. You see he cracks open the book, begins flipping through the pages, before getting to one of the early sections where he goes, about the author. And then begins to quote from the book and goes, this text has been my highest honor to compile. I am incredibly thankful for the opportunities to delve into the history of our city. A great thanks goes out to the Guiding Flame Institute for facilitating my research. Sure. A thanks must be granted to my neighbor, Mrs. Newtbinder, for if the walls of Bramblekin weren't so thin, I may never have developed a love for history. And finally, to the love of my life, there is not enough gratitude in Calidor to repay you for opening my eyes to the beauty of the world. Does that sound like him? I need both of you to make history checks for me.
Does it mention anything about a hulking man?
Does that sound like somebody? Does that sound like the man who cursed you?
My die was genuinely cocked on 3 different sides.
Wow.
So I did do a reroll.
That's not easy
You
to
asked
do.
for history?
Yes.
Ooh, I'm very historical. We should roll more of those. I got an 18.
Oh,
18.
I only rolled an 8.
Excellent.
History was not
Renshor-
my best class.
Renshor, you recognize Bramblekin. Bramblekin is the name of the apartment complex
No
that
way.
Juliet Ketters lived in.
And she has all
Was-
the ancestry books.
Was father and mother getting it on?
You do know that this book is dated 1599, so almost 70
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
What number was 70 years ago?
1599, so it'd been 69 years.
Okay.
1599, is that what you said? I'm sorry.
1599, yep.
Interesting.
Um,
I don't know how that helps us in the least. Again, this
Yeah.
man might just be dead.
Yeah, he goes, that is interesting. Who did you say told you that he was dead?
Well, it was published, I believe, that there was one red cloak was captured alive from the area that this summoning was occurring.
Yes.
He may have been either captured alive or killed. I know it was quite a ruckus.
You see, he flips through his a newspaper that he has, and goes, "I believe the cultist that was found alive. Their name is let me find it here. Ashton Jobis. That's the person that they pulled from the Whistler's Feast.
So he's not alive, but he still might be dead.
He still might be dead. Well, let's see. Based on the descriptions in this book, it looks like he was a human male in his late 50s at the time of writing this. So I would imagine that he probably should be dead of old age by now. 50?
Yes.
Another
but
70? Yeah.
We were told that he is like undead.
That's unnerving.
Yes. But he might be dead now.
He could be dead. That would be unfortunate. He turns and kind of moves over to the sphere that was delivered to him. And he goes, yes. See, this knowledge of Resbid, if it is the same person from this book, is very interesting and could be very important. But fundamentally, it's missing something. Not that it's missing something. We're missing something. See, this is the problem that me and Elda have been churning with for the last few months. In order to break a curse, you need to know what the curse is. And I've done bountiful research, and nothing that we've found has quite been able to match Orianna's symptoms. The black blood, the effect on the contingency upon emotion, the subsequent appearance of the curse as it rears its ugly head as your emotions take hold. They don't match anything in the history books that I'm seeing, or the incantations, or the tomes, or the grimoires. I can't find anything on it.
I'm sure you've tried this, but not knowing everything, I'm gonna ask. Have we looked in the books near where he was standing when she was attacked?
That is an excellent starting point. Unfortunately, those books, even by the time that I arrived, and he kind of turns back to Orianna, those books had ceased to exist. The shreds were they were shreds or ashes or unobtainable at the time that I got there.
Oh, okay.
But yes, that is an excellent start. I imagine that. Yes, I imagine
would
this
have been
Resbin.
an excellent start.
But no, great minds think alike. You're on the right path, Renshor. This Resbin character, although a name is good, being able to talk to him and ask him what curse he placed on Orianna is truly what we need. Orianna had the ingenious idea of spherical analysis, and he turns to the sphere and says, there is a process called spheric differentiation, where you can. I'm not one so runically inclined myself, but I've been learning, and you see he has texts from the Temple of Ryan that rudimentary studies on spheres, less about the casting behind them and more about like the science and arcana of the actual sphere. And he goes, I'm still struggling to understand it, but there is a way to feel, to see what energy a sphere has cast and understand what spells have come from it. Unfortunately, in order to do that, you need the sphere used in the spell. Once again, drawing us to needing this Resbin character. So, if we want to make any progress on what the curse is, we will need, again, either Resbin to tell us himself, or his sphere to analyze, and the knowledge enough to analyze it, which I'm working on. I'm getting closer. But we are still working.
I understand a bad sphere or a bad user can cause this curse. Could we find someone just with a good intention and a good sphere that could just make it go away?
That is an excellent thought, Renshor, which brings me to breaking curses. There are a couple ways to break curses from what I've seen. The schools of magic, not necessarily schools of magic, rather the forms of magic, archaic, runic, divine, all seem to have their own unique ways of breaking a curse. Most runic curses have what's called an abjuric sequence, that a almost mathematical backdoor into a curse that will allow it to be cracked open, like a safe. But that requires a incredibly powerful abjuration caster, and unfortunately none of those exist in the city anymore, and are all most likely currently on the other side of the Oakland River, unfortunately.
I understand it's unlikely, but how powerful are we talking? I mean, Chamith, I have money. I can get someone here.
Well, honestly, it depends on the strength of the curse. Yes, there are some. I've seen some in my readings. There are some lower level, lower intensity curse breaking sequences that abjurers will learn, and then there are some much more powerful ones. The stuff of legends, really. And unfortunately, with Orianna's curse, I cannot tell if it is incredibly strong, and that is why it is difficult to get a read on it, or if it is simply so incredibly rare that I cannot find anything on. But that is for a runic curse, which I presume it is.
He used a sphere, no?
Yes, so, and that is what I've been reading. And you see, he pulls out a book, and I believe you've actually tapped into this book before. It's a book about ley lines.
Oh,
I don't remember exactly what it.
None of these books. It's one of the original books that I got.
It is one of the originals.
It's Leyline by Marianne Mooring.
Yes.
Yeah, close enough.
Thank you for finding it faster than I. You see, he pulls out this book and goes, I'm sure you have heard fairy tales of ley lines. I mean, they're a real thing, but they're not much is known, and they often come up in fairy tales. But the ley lines are unique because they almost seem to have tenets of all three of these forms of magic: archaic, runic, and divine. And so we have seen, it's rare that this happens, but we have seen the ability to cast rituals of another type of magic with a different source. For example, you may have seen some of the Ashen Order casting a spell to detect magic. They're using divine casting to cast the spell. However, the same spell can be cast by a mage at Drayden's Academy. The enchantment is not unique to the form of magic. There are different forms of magic that may cast the same spell. However, there are some, usually rituals, that are unique to their form of magic. So, based on my studies, Orianna's symptoms seem to be connected to a runic magic, and I absolutely agree. But really all I know is that it was cast with runic magic, and it is difficult to tell what the source is. If it was an archaic ritual, it may require the caster to die. We may have to end the caster's entire bloodline. That's sometimes a thing. If it's a divine curse, that would make things significantly easier, as it could be lifted by the will and associated ascended, or by the Novem themselves. In which case, we'll just keep you in Vignachi, and when Samira takes notice, she will lift the curse. Or give us the way to lift the curse.
That's
honestly
easier?
I'm really counting on that. I've been doing a lot of Vignachi.
Okay. That seems like the less easy of the two options.
Well, it's certainly the easiest. We just keep doing Vignacci and hope it works. But
That's a
in
hope.
terms of results, it's probably the one that we can least count on.
Okay. Yeah.
Not because I don't count on Amira, but because I simply don't believe it's a divine curse.
I see. Okay.
Going on a quest for Amira would also help breaking a curse. But usually if you're cursed by an Ascended, they'll usually immediately give you some sign of what quests they want you to go on. Have you, just double checking, any quests that a god has requested of you? You would know.
God? I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
My only quests have been kind of self-given of trying to find Resbin's sphere.
Yes. Well, finding this Resbin figure is probably our first matter of business then, or at least being able to get his sphere. Do we know anything?
That's what I've been trying all summer.
Yes, but now we have a name.
Yeah, we have a name now. I mean, we've got closer to him. I mean, we've seen him. I've ran from him, and Renshor was in the room with him at some point. A couple times.
We were in the same
we've
carriage,
encountered
we were in the
him.
same room. We've hung out a couple times. I just didn't know we needed his sphere.
My goodness, you were in the same room as this Von Fair figure. What in goodness name? What in November's name were you doing?
Well, we even encountered him in the alleyway, and I told you about the alleyway, and he was...
Oh, yes.
Trying to hurt us then, and...
Yes.
As much as we've been after him, he's been after us. So...
That's true.
But now, since the whole ceremony has gone off, and we don't know if he's still around, I feel like we were so close, right? Like, even though he was chasing us, like that, he was there, like, right? He was right within our grasp, and I feel we just lost him all over again.
No, he puts a hand on Orianna's shoulder, and he goes, I know. The path to this solution is not going to be an easy one, but we will find a way.
What kind of consequences are we talking about if we get that math problem you were talking about earlier wrong? Like if I brought in a mage and would you say abjuration?
The abjure sequence?
Yeah.
Yes.
If we brought in one of them and got the math wrong.
That's a good question. For Orianna's perspective, I don't believe there would be much. If the abjure sequence is incorrect, it simply will not break the curse that binds her. And so, to be fair, Orianna would not be much worse off. The consequence for the caster may be worse. Oftentimes, spells that are done incorrectly, from my again limited research, it seems that casting runic spells requires very precise runes, and to do, the more unfamiliar you are with the runic casting, the more certain spheres called siphons will pull energy from the caster, instead of pulling from the runes and the mathematical sequence.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes, so you have wells, which are smaller spheres that simply give off energy, but have no flexibility for incorrect casting. And then you have siphons, which have, depending on their size, immense degree for flexibility at the cost of the user.
How bad could that cost be? How big of a cost are we talking?
It depends on the size of the sphere. If it's a small sphere and you're trying to do small spells and you miscast them, maybe some heartburn, I believe the mages have reported. There have also been instances of mages trying to wish on a shooting star and shriveling up into dust. So that could happen. Again, I've just started reading about this.
Okay, I guess I won't. Do you have to be a mage to burn to dust looking at a shooting star?
No, I believe he was trying to cast a spell with it, and
Oh.
it was simply a poor job casting a spell.
Okay.
It is at
So I
least
don't-
what the legend is.
There's no immediate danger to us, then.
I figure not. I've wished on a shooting star a couple times, and I'm still doing Renyachi.
So what you're saying, though, is that someone who's new shouldn't be using one of these big siphons, right?
I don't think that's what he was saying.
Somebody who's new.
Well, he said you have someone who doesn't know the runes.
Someone who's
Yes, but
new-
if they have something that's clearly laying out what the runes are, I'd imagine they'd be perfectly safe.
Perfectly
Both of you
safe or
give me-
shriveling up.
Give me deception checks for both of you. As he's just watching this go back and forth.
I'm at 16.
Perfect.
Mine's also 16.
The banter
We're
is perfect.
exactly matching.
He's just watching the two of you go back and forth, and immediately just goes in and gives you both a big hug, and was like, "It's okay to be stressed in a time of trauma. Process the sadness." Speaking of which, and you see he turns. Speaking of sadness, that reminds me. I hope that they have found that librarian that went missing. She was holding a book for me on spheric differentiation, and he points to his sphere and goes, and I definitely, well, I hope she is found shortly for her safety, but also,
How
more-
much did you confide in her about what you were researching?
in who? The librarian?
The librarian.
Yeah.
I was just asked for a handful of books. I'm not going around telling everybody that you're cursed.
I know. I just didn't know how much she knew about what the subject you were researching.
I put in an order for a handful of books, and this is the one that I was still waiting on.
I'm actually going to the library later, potentially. Would you like me to see if it's available for you?
Yes, most certainly. Yeah, that would be wonderfully excellent if you could do that. Thank you.
Is it just the one?
Yes, it is called Dux de Sefer.
I'll just tell him it's under your name.
Yes, that would be perfect. But yes, I'm not going around telling everybody that you're cursed.
No, I know, but she knows the topics that you're researching.
I imagine. I guess so. Yes. It was a bundle of books on spheric research. The other three came in. It was simply that one I was still waiting on.
What were the other ones?
Okay.
They were called.
Sorry. Never mind.
No. I'll
I
call
don't
them some book names. Let's see. 3 books about spheres. The Perfect Shape.
That feels like a romance.
Keep this trend going. Book number 2.
Yep, The Perfect Shape. The next one is called The Magic of Stone.
These names.
And the last one was called the abjuric
Understanding
sequence.
divine relics? Oh.
What was it?
Understanding divine relics?
He honestly would have absolutely ordered that book. Yep, that's the last one. Divine Relics.
I have that one too.
Yep. He goes, yes, if you wouldn't mind, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be going that way anyway, so.
Perfect. Excellent.
Is there anything else we should be doing? I mean, you know I've been spending all my time trying to get the sphere. Is there anything else I could be doing to help you? I mean, I know I'm not the best study buddy, and that's why Elda's in here more than me.
Yes.
But what can I be doing in the city or looking for anything? I mean, I see you have all of these vials of things.
Blood. And
Blood
eyeballs.
and
What's
eyes.
the eyeball for?
I was just doing some research on the depraved to see if it had any connection with the curse. So far, it does not.
Well, that's good. I mean, considering how much Resbin is involved in the depraved and summoning them about, and
very much so.
good to know my connection is less than exact to that.
Yes.
Do you think he cast the curse on you for a purpose, or just you were just an innocent bystander?
I think I was just at the right place at the wrong time. And I think it could have been anyone else in that room that it took effect on.
That is a wise thing to say, Orianna.
That is both good and bad. He has no purpose for you, which is good. Just wish you weren't there.
Me too. I think Chamith and I had kind of come to the conclusion it was right at the beginning of like a fear tactic of trying to cause restlessness in the city, just another mage attack.
Yes, that is certainly what it looked like.
And then we were able to keep the situation pretty quiet, considering
Contained, for sure.
the money we can put into keeping it quiet with the newspapers and such, considering my status at the time, and fear wasn't able to get out to the public, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. We're gonna have a much harder time
it
keeping things quiet from the newspaper now.
I'm not sure that's a good thing, but
Renshor, can you make an insight check?
No, actually. Is that a 1? No, it's a 7. Okay. I think my insight... 8!
8. You, as this conversation is happening, you just see a wave of emotion move over Chamith that you aren't really able to recognize.
just talking about the day is emotional.
Yeah. Before he turns to Orianna and goes, well, as far as doing anything that you can do to help, anything that we can do to find out about this Resbin character would be highly helpful. If he is, assuming that he is not dead, and merely undead, like you say, usually undead will be trying to complete a task that they had in life, or sometimes they'll frequent areas that they were significant to them in life, such as their home or their
neighbor's house.
Yes, possibly, or like their resting place. Anything that we can find out about this Resbin character would be helpful, to try to speak to him potentially, and then take his sphere.
I don't think we'll be speaking to him if we come across him, but we will try to get his sphere.
Perfect.
Chamith, should I try to get a spheric mage in to cast a spell?
No, because that would be illegal.
Okay,
Well,
Orianna. Just trying everything.
I know, but
here's my advice, Lord Renshor. If a abjuration mage were here, I would certainly take use of his skills, his or her skills, their skills, to benefit Orianna. With the Ashen Order's newest focus on casters, both runic and archaic, I would not ask you to put yourself in such danger getting a caster from most likely the capital up to us. But if they happen to be here, I would not turn down their services, not for a moment.
Okay. I will see what I can get done.
Oh, before you head off, I did have a question. In your learning and investigation about this curse, have any of your trails led you to the Watland family, perchance?
All of them.
Truly. More than
And I
one
know almost
avenue of
nothing.
my research has been halted by a text or an apparatus monopolized by the Watlands. To speak ill accusations of a count is in poor practice, and I am not participating. But, as Amira says, there are no coincidences in war, only cause and effect. The Watlands may have more to do with this than either one of us realize.
well, you know, the Watlands we've learned an interest in the depraved. And I mean, I guess I'm not entirely sure how much of an interest, but we know that they were scheduled to go out past the walls into the Vermore Woods to go depraved watching?
I mean, the depraved certainly had an interest in them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the pile outside their manor?
Yes, I most certainly did. Renshor, can you give me another history check?
Yes, I can.
Actually, I'll this would
Don't
be
change
either
it off of
history
history.
or gossip, but I'll allow you to choose.
Which one gets me more information?
They're both the same.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a nat 20, so take that as you will.
You got a nat 20? On a nat 20, as this conversation happens about the Watlands, a couple pieces get put together really quick.
This feels like some note-taking information.
Yeah.
You remember Eleanor's conversation about meeting with Yanis Gore and the trip into the forest for depraved hunting. But you remember as she's talking about it, she wanted to go depraved hunting. That wasn't the point of their expedition. From what you were told from Eleanor, the Watlands wanted to go deep into the forest, and that was it. On the previous day, you held a brief conversation with Yanis Gore. And in your speech, you had mentioned Eleanor's desire to risk danger to go into the forest for the sake of her art. And in that moment of vulnerability, Yanis Gore let slip a very important piece of information that
I don't remember.
was not even told to Eleanor.
How did I not pick up on this? We didn't talk
The
for that long.
Watlands were not just going deep into the Vermore. The Watlands were going to Ethro's Grove. And that is where their expedition is taking them. And their studies were not necessarily, their intent was not about the depraves, but they had information. They were looking about information about the Nox, and they have been funding an expedition to the Tyrvald's home deep in the Vermore.
Shit.
So they were looking for, I'm assuming, because I remember Eleanor was telling me about the vision she got during the ceremony, and her visions were about Ethro's Grove, I believe.
One was a malevolent axe in the forest. One was a helmet in a overgrown manor, and one was an amulet robbed from a sarcophagus.
Did you tell Renshor about these visions?
Not on camera, but it is.
I did not. Yeah, I was gonna say I did not on camera, but I will say that I did probably when we were
walking home.
When Orianna was probably like packing up, and we had a like discussion about what happened that night and about the sphere and everything. I probably would have told you all this at that point. So are they looking for that axe? But I mean, then that ties back to the ceremony, and it still ties back to the depraved. Like, I don't know why else they would.
If they're going to Ethro's Grove, they're going for the helmet.
They're going for the helmet.
Yes. It was my grandsire's grandsires. I'm almost certain of it. As Amira would say, there are no
coincidences.
Coincidences in war.
Only cause and effect. Intriguing. I do not know how to gain more information about a count, nor a count so secluded as the Watlands. But I believe they have far more to play at this than we know.
So it's a race to the
I guess
helmet.
we'll keep an eye on them and try and get more information about the helmet. I don't really know how the helmet plays it. Like, what does the helmet do? Do you know?
Without having the words in front of me, it is most certainly cursed.
Okay.
But it's really just kind of anything I've ever seen about it. It's very vague. It just says that the enchantment's extraordinary, but nothing in any detail.
Do we think that this helmet is good or bad? Like, do you think it's going to help bring upon the depraved, or do you think it's going to help resist the depraved?
Well,
like, do we think that the Watlands are still on our side?
No. I have seen this helmet listed in connection to the Exortus Umbra legend. So, no. Also, I've seen it listed as one of 3, so I'm like 90% sure it's the same helmet. Which is terrifying that it was in my house. Well, I never lived in that house, so I guess it's not really that bad, but...
It is terrifying that it is a part of your family.
Yes, indeed. But,
yes.
You know, no accounting
amongst
for
many
the
other
past
things.
mistakes. Yeah, well, you know, sometimes families make mistakes.
And all we can do is learn from them.
Or repeat them.
No.
Chamith just gives you both a big hug. Excuse me, both a big hug, and he's like, "Those are such wise words from both of you. I'm so incredibly proud."
I'm starting to despise this man. He needs to stop hugging me.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
But it seems like our only lead right now is this Bramblekin location and the library.
Are we going to Bramblekin? We're gonna recheck that out.
That is up to you. I most certainly would be, in my mind, worth speaking to some of the residents and seeing if anybody knew a Resbin von Fair, seeing if he was dead or a runic caster. If he was 50 in 1599, it was before the runic ban. So if he was a runic caster, he may have been open about it.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we can go check that out. We do have to go to the library, too. Or at least I do. You can do whatever you like.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
both of you take... Yes.
But before we head out, Chamith, I just wanted to talk to you real quick about just kind of how I've been feeling lately.
Yes, of course.
In regards to, everything. I haven't really felt this part yet, and I don't know if it's part of the curse or not, but
Do you want me to step out? It's up to you.
It's okay.
Okay.
You kind of know what's going on, so it's okay. I feel like that empty hole in my chest has just kind of grown deeper, and I can't fill it in the last couple days. And I've been trying really hard to lean on my support, and I look at Renshor and doing my vinyasa and things to help make me feel better, and I feel like I just can't really shake this heavy feeling that I have. And I feel like I've also been eating a lot more than normal, but I'm still really hungry after every meal, and I just can't seem to feel content or satisfied in these last couple days. And it's heavy. I don't know what to do about it. And I haven't really seen, the other stuff happening. But it's a new feeling. And so I thought I'd bring it up.
No, speaking on it is important. And unfortunately, that is not a symptom of the curse. That is grieving. That is depression. That is the loss of a friend that's been at your side for the vast majority of your life. It's a lack of contentness that will heal, but it will never go away. And there's no amount of magic or enchantment or substances, potions that will change that. Not permanently. It just is something that we have to heal with time and energy and the support of the loved ones around you. And that's not an easy answer, but that is all. Unfortunately, not everything is a curse to be broken. some things are worse in the sense that they are natural. But they are natural and a part of life. And you are far from alone in experiencing it.
All right.
Can I get a wisdom saving throw from Orianna?
So you have to talk about your emotions.
An unnatural 20.
Wow. Unnatural 20.
Yeah.
You keep your composure throughout this moment, but you do have a moment where your gaze moves down and you can see a portion of Chameth's arm. It's been bandaged where he let a little bit of blood out for his research, and the bandages that are have seeped with blood, the saliva in your mouth intensifies as you look over to it, and you can almost hear his heartbeat in some of the moments, but you fully keep your composure.
Yeah, I think the thoughts that are running through my head are just... I mean, I haven't lost a friend like this before, but I have felt immense sadness, at least in these last couple weeks. I thought I knew what sadness felt like, and I know what the effects of sadness are. And it doesn't feel just like grieving.
Yeah.
It feels just deeper than that.
No, absolutely. And that exhaustion still stays, despite multiple long rests. And you know that is not natural. Well, thank both of you for coming here today. The more information I can get about the whoever did this to Orianna, whoever casting this curse, the better. But if you would be able to run and acquire that, the book from the librarian was holding for me, it is much easier for a Viscount to get such a thing than a lowly priest of Amira. So I appreciate the offer, Lord Renshor.
Yes, absolutely. Anything to help.
Perfect. Excellent. Splendid. Ensure. Would you like tea on the way out?
No, I think we're good. Thank you so much, Chamith. Thank you for seeing us today and for working on this every day. I really appreciate it.
It is, of course, that is what friends do, is it not?
Thank you.
Excellent. Do either one of you need a hug before you go?
Please no.
Okay. Tea?
No. Thank you, Chamith.
Okay.
Renshor, we can go.
Okay.
Stay dry out there. Do your Venjachi.
No.
Every day.
Every day. You leave Chameth's office, stepping back out into the rain, and we are going to take a quick break from City of Shadows.
Welcome to Starlight Globe.
Oh, of course it's Starlight Globe.
We're in Starlight Globe?
Yes! This holiday.
This doesn't make any sense. How did we get here?
Magic.
Magic. We are at Starlight Globe. Anything here is possible.
Anything.
Find wonder.
Do you think if I believed really hard that there was a giant monstrosity of one of those brownies underneath us, it would be true?
Unfortunately, I think that might be the case.
I'm scared that you already believe that. I think in your heart of hearts, you think that there's a giant monster under us, and that's why you just said that. Why would you say that?
No, I think I do believe it.
Honestly, I think it now.
And adventure.
Okay, well, I guess I'll follow the star for now, because clearly, you guys don't know how to do anything, so I'll have to stay here to help you get there.
Yeah, and we couldn't leave you behind. That's not right. We have to stick together. You can't leave someone alone on a trail. That's how people die.
Vesla left us alone.
Yeah.
She actually left 3 8-year-olds alone.
Oh, I'm telling my mom when we get back home that the lady left us alone.
Once upon a star.
You can be rich in more than just money.
Yeah.
Like assets and property. There's non-liquid forms of being rich.
Yeah, like having lots of friends and family who love you and go on trips with you.
He said a bad word. He said assets.
The bells toll throughout Thalia, and you should toll that subscribe bell down below. Not only does it help 4 Rings in so much, but it will also keep you up to date with the terrifying tales of City of Shadows. If you think this campaign is cool, make sure that you check out Insight, the show where we get the inside scoop on our characters and the world of our campaign, as well as the exciting and hilarious one-shots we have run by our very own Aubrey. It has been such an honor to share with you our homebrew world of Ethereum and tell stories of adventure, mystery, and horror together. Now, without further ado, back to City of Shadows. We return to City of Shadows. The two of you make your way back to the carriages, soaking wet as the rain continues to come down. Where would you guys like to be headed?
The Sophos Librum, the library.
Perfect. The carriage begins to take you down towards the library.
And I guess we're using my carriage. Sure ain't Julia's.
So I guess the library is our next stop then to get the book
Yes.
for Chamith.
Yes, we'll go to the library because he asked for that, and
And
there's a couple
you know,
things I want to
today,
see.
today is Hera Harvester's trial. I don't know if you remembered.
Oh wow, no, I completely forgot about that and her as a whole, which is crazy.
Yeah. It meant a lot to Eleanor to see that trial and stand up for her. But I really don't think I have the mental capacity to attend that event later today.
No, I would.
I don't know about you, but I tried to do everything right by her and by Eleanor and do the right thing that we could, but I don't think I can go to that trial and just watch them debate her life away. Especially everything that happened with Eleanor. I don't think I can just watch it again.
Yeah. Especially since she is largely guilty.
I can't be there. And you said it wasn't on your mind either. And so I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page that I don't think we could be there.
I do feel like I'm letting Eleanor down a little bit by not going, but honestly, I don't know that I'd make her proud either by going, so.
Yeah.
To the library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The carriage arrives at the Sophos Libra. Enter in the dry foyer of the Grand Library. What are you guys looking for at the library?
Well,
I think I'm letting Renshor take the lead here. I'm kind of following behind him. Just because I don't really know exactly what we're looking for. I already forgot the name of the book that Chamith wanted.
It's impossible. But I will go up to the counter and just talk to the clerk. A priest of Amira has a book on hold here. I was just hoping I could pick it up for him.
Yes, Count Air Renshor, or Count Air Theobald. Yes, I can get that for you. What is the name of the priest?
What's Chamith's last name?
Chamith Alvarez?
Chamith
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes, Alvarez. Let me see. Yes, it seems that he is on order for Do des Sphere. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, that sounds close enough.
Yes. It looks like there were 2 copies ordered. One is in the possession of the Watlands currently, and the second is in the possession of Miss Ketters, the librarian here. In fact, hopefully she should be returning to work soon. But if you have not heard, she's in fact missing. But the books are currently checked out. As soon as they arrive, we will ensure to deliver them. Did not realize they were of so import.
I love that this librarian just told me exactly where I could go steal this book from. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear about Miss Ketters. Very well.
For that delivery, I need a deception check.
Can I intentionally fail it?
I'm so sad to hear about Julia Ketters.
Are you choosing to fail?
Yeah, I failed it.
Okay. He
I just seem like a really indignant individual.
Oh, fucking Juliet Gathers. Oh, yes. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Just when that book comes in, could you let us or Mr. Alvarez know?
Yes, of course. Most certainly.
Would you happen to have any, antique books from the academy, before the war and whatnot?
Oh, yes, there is a collection on books from the academy. Unfortunately, they are restricted to the public due to the unsafety, the dangerousness, particularly in the last since the first of Asha. Templar Cofford has mandated that they are to be under watch. We are not lending out any of the books from the academy at the moment.
Oh, that's fine. I don't need to lend it out. I just was curious on a couple passages, if that's okay. Purely research, of course. If there's anything I could do to just look at a couple pages.
Give me a persuasion check.
This one I will not intentionally fail.
Can I give him the help action because I'm in Ashen Order uniform and an Ashen Order Templar had
Yeah,
said to restrict the books, and so if
you're part of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You work under Templar Coffer.
As of the beginning of the week, or starting next week.
And so maybe just I'm standing there with him. I'm in uniform.
Are you giving advantage? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I think just my presence of being
Okay.
in uniform, I'm hoping to give the help action.
That was not helpful. Wow. 2 terrible rolls. Okay.
I tried.
10.
That's not great.
You see the librarian goes, of course, Viscount Air Renshor, and you see he just marks your name down, and then goes, is this cloak going to be with you? the whole time?
Yes. That's why I'm here.
Excellent.
It's,
I
like I
will
said,
not
purely research here.
Yes, I will not send for an escort then. You are welcome to peruse the third floor northeast section, and points to a wing of the library.
Perfect. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And best of luck with your coworker.
Yes, thank you.
And I guess we'll go to the third floor northeast section.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was gonna work.
It was close. Oh, I mean, I feel like it was probably your presence that made the difference there.
I still didn't think it was gonna work. Do you know what you're looking for up here?
I'm hoping to find something that we can use.
Okay, I'm just gonna let Renshor kind of guide, and I'm just kind of following him through the shelves as he's looking for whichever book he needs.
I'm gonna start with the A's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Specifically one that goes A, B.
Yeah, you start very early in, and I'm going to say that you find a book titled The Abjuric Sequence, and that would pique your interest.
Yeah. Okay, let's grab that one. Oh. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah,
Can I
I can't
have-
take this with me. Yeah, what?
Can both of you do investigation checks for me?
Ooh, 4.
Am I rolling all my skills at disadvantage, or is it just my ability scores?
I will double check. I believe it's just your skills.
I thought it was
Okay.
everything.
I know your attacks
I
aren't at
forgot.
disadvantage yet.
Disadvantage on ability checks.
Yep. This would be an ability check.
Okay. So 13.
13. As you are looking around these shelves, yeah, honestly, on a 13, what was yours, Renshor? An 8?
No, it was lower than that. I honestly don't remember. It was somewhere around a 4 or 5.
Perfect. Yeah, you move through these shelves and you don't particularly see anything that really stands out in the section.
Other than abjuric sequences.
You see abjuric sequences. Is there anything in particular that you guys are also looking for?
I was hoping for a spell book, which I realized was a long shot. But
Yeah, Yeah, on that investigation, you don't uncover a spell book.
Okay. Yeah, because I know. I mean, we need to be able to do the sequence math stuff, but we also need to know what the spell even is to start that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess while we're here, take some notes from the sequences thing. I don't know what this abjuric sequence stuff is, so.
Yeah, you see as you flip through, it's a lot of information, but it is essentially it's kind of in and of itself a spell book, but it's unique to abjuration spells that revolve around dispelling magic, dispelling curses, like restoration magic, and pretty much like very unique to the abjuration magic that breaks other spells. and has like a compendium of abjuration magic and abjuration spells specifically for breaking other runic spells.
Oh. So, is there one called, like, Break Curse? Cleanse?
Get rid of
Something like that.
Orianna's curse, maybe?
Yeah.
Is there a spell called Fix All My Problems?
Is there?
There's not one called Fix All My Problems.
Is that what happens when you wish upon a star?
Yeah, you just turn to ash and all your problems are gone. There is one...
Oh, that's like some genie type magic.
Yeah. There is one called Remove Curse in this book.
Does it tell me how to cast it?
It gives you
This is
there's a lot more. Hey, you know what? Actually, give me an Arcana check.
Oh.
I'm gonna make you figure that out.
Okay. With advantage?
No.
15?
15. There's not enough within this book to know how to cast it, but combined with Grandsire's Journal, there would be enough to learn the spell. Meaning, if you want to be able to like copy down this information to learn the spell, how complicated the sequence is and the math behind it, the runes, you would either need to bring Grandsire's Journal here and open them up side by side and then copy it down, or steal this book and bring it back to Grandsire's Journal. But you need you pretty much are like, oh, if I get those two books side by side, I could make that spell happen.
Oh, but what if someone else steals it first? I'd honestly be doing the city a service by making sure it can't fall into the wrong hands.
I'd love justifying it. I'd be doing them a service. I'd basically be doing them a favor. When you said that, that felt very like a Death Note. I'd be doing everyone a favor by doing this crime.
Can I see? I mean, I'd be rolling with disadvantage, but roll an Arcana check or something to see, did they change anything in this library in terms of a magical alarm or something, what was in the reliquary that would trip if Renshor did take this book?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I remember last time we were in it, what's her name had stolen a page from the book, and she was able to get away with it and take it, and nobody knew that something was stolen. But since
That
all
was
the
a different
attacks
place,
and everything,
that was in the Temple of
Oh,
Orion.
That was the
it-
Temple of Orion. Now we're on the surface.
but that's still my thought is that what if there's an alarm that when you take this out of the restricted area, something goes off?
Yeah, you can do an Arcana check or a Perception check with disadvantage.
Oh, I'll do perception. I'm better at that.
Good.
19 or 12.
Oh.
Is that with the bonus?
Yeah.
Okay. You look around. You see that the entrance into this section was gated off. And so when you came up as a Viscount, you were allowed in this section with Orianna watching. You see that the kind of the precautions right now, you don't see anything magical that would give an alarm. You just see that there's one or two cloaks, one watching the gate to the section and one kind of patrolling around. You two are the only ones in here right now. To pretty much keep an eye on who's in here and what they're doing. But you don't see any alarms that would go off.
Is it so complicated that I couldn't copy it down to another piece of paper?
You could copy it down. It is too complicated for like a single page. There's like a chapter on it. Copying it down onto pages, the toughest part would be to avoid suspicion.
And say the guards that are walking around up here would be.
Yeah. Looking at things academically, like even if you were just copying things down, that's one thing. But as soon as they come over and they see that you're not just like copying paragraphs, you're copying runes down.
Entire pages, yeah.
Yeah. That would be a red flag.
Okay, I think we leave this here for now. And we will revisit later.
Yeah, we can come back.
But that's good to know. We might... That's a huge step. Chamith said, like, this might be a possible way to get rid of it.
You found good information in there? You think it's worth it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we can do something.
That's exciting.
Yeah. See, I'm helping. You just told me sooner.
I know.
I get it.
I was scared.
I know.
Sure.
I know. I get it. That's all I needed here. That was relatively easy.
Perfect. What's the next stop then?
I guess we go to the Bramblekin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to go to the apartments. Why are we going there again? Because Resbin used to live there?
Yeah, he said like
for him?
he said the undead often return to like comfortable places. He clearly used to live there. He had that neighbor he really liked who lived there, whatever her name was. So maybe he's still there. And it's gotta be kind of weird that Juliet lives there too. Like, I don't know. This place seems
The father used to live there, and now mother does live there.
It seems important, and I'm not sure why. But
do you think he maybe passed the apartment down to her?
Oh, maybe
it's just
because she has a weird background, right? Like she came from like orphanage or something like that.
A lot of the people that live in Bramblekin were orphans. That's like kind of the place where if you're an orphan who went to the Guiding Flame, that was kind of like one of their go-to spots to put people. And so it just kind of has a reputation for being the home for orphans once they're post-orphanage.
So I can't remember if we know her, like, parentage and they're dead, or if we don't know her parentage. But I'm curious, because that maths. Father could be her father.
You would also know that Juliet had, or according to the librarian, has the book that Chamith is looking for.
Yeah.
We also need that book. Yeah, we're just going to steal it from her dead body. Well,
the last time we were in her apartment, her room was piled with books.
I also stole a ton of books from her room already. Hold on, am I holding this book already?
You did not take this book. No, I think you have some on like Ancestry.
Yeah, I took.
Weren't all of her books were on Ancestry?
Oh, the only book I took from her was Blacksbane's Counts and Viscounts.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only one I took was about Ancestry.
Deal.
I feel like most of her books were about Ancestry.
I feel like there were a couple.
There was
apparently she's got another one that's not. But see, she's writing about Ancestry. Father's writing about Ancestry. Something's happening here. I guess we could check it out. And steal that book.
We'll head over to the apartments.
You make your way over to Bramblekin, leaving the library back into the rain, and take a carriage ride, riding through thunder and puddles to right by the Guiding Flame Institute and arrive back at Bramblekin. Only less than a week since you've last been at these apartments. You step out of the carriage, boots splashing into puddles in the rain, and you see... Actually, give me perception checks from both of you.
Rolling at disadvantage, I'm assuming.
Yes, you are. Mm-hmm.
For 12.
I got a 19.
A 19. Both of you notice there are sopping wet posters, missing people, particularly one Juliet Ketters has been posted outside of Bramblekin. In addition, Renshor, on your 19, as you enter in to the front doors of Bramblekin, you can't help but notice a sleek raven watch you enter the apartments before takes off and flies down the street and away.
I don't like that. I kind of forgot he existed. I guess, is there like a directory? Because we're looking for Ketters and what was their name? Newt something.
Yeah, for...
Newtbinder was the neighbor of
Father
of Von Fair.
Yes.
If you would like, you guys can roll a investigation check and look for go through the mailbox and try to find one of these new names. You already know where the Ketter's apartment is.
Mm-hmm. 17 investigation for me.
My first roll was really good, but now it's only a 6.
Orianna, you quickly find Ketter's room again on the 4th floor, the highest floor of the building.
Yeah, I know where this one is.
And Renshor points immediately next to it. The only
How did I miss
neighbor...
that?
How did you miss that?
The only neighbor to Juliet Ketters is one Newtbinder.
Wait, how does she only have one neighbor?
She's on the corner.
Oh, okay.
And you see Newtbinder. You do not see Renshor of Von Fair listed anywhere currently.
Oh, I didn't even think to look for him. Yeah, cool. I guess we'll go up. They're right next to each other. Neighbor first, so we're not just carrying a stolen book around.
Yeah, we'll probably break into the apartment last. That should be the last thing we do, in case we need a quick exit.
Good point. Neighbor first.
That sounds good.
You make your way up the creaky staircases to the top floor of Bramblekin, through the tight, winding hallways to get to the apartments of one Newtbinder and one Ketters. You see next to Newtbinder's door, as you reach the corner of the building, Juliet's door is easily recognizable by another missing persons poster nailed to the door by the Ashen Order.
It would be sad if I cared.
That's fair.
Renshor, what exactly are we asking Miss Binder? Because Resman's supposedly dead, right? For like 50 years or so, or 70 years ago?
He died 70 years ago?
Well,
No.
he wrote the book
Good,
he
that
wrote
book 70 years
was
ago.
70 years ago. He's got to be dead for like 50 years now, right? Or maybe it could be less, but I don't know. Like, what are we asking if she just Why would
If you-
we know him?
We are astute academics doing a biography, and we're trying to get more information about his personal life. And maybe in this, Newt Binder, Mr.? Right.
He references a Mrs. Newtbinder.
Mrs. Newt Binder. Maybe she has, like, lost it, and we can just straight up ask her if she's seen him recently.
Okay. So we're student. Well, you would be the student. I'm a cloak. But you're a student looking for information on this author and his personal life.
Yes.
Okay. And if she's crazy, ask if she's seen him around lately.
Yes. I think that's, like, the best we're gonna get out of this conversation. So, fingers crossed.
Well, I mean, there's a good chance she has because, right, father gave the apartment to mother, and he used to live around here, and so maybe she has seen him around lately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe she thinks she's crazy. But she's really not.
Maybe she's not. We're probably gonna gaslight her into thinking she is even more.
Sounds good. We are gonna get that woman locked up. What time of day is it? Are we knocking on this woman's door at, like, the middle of the night?
No.
Oh,
You guys went to Chamith's.
Oh, right.
Pretty much like first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
You went to the library. Depending on whether you stopped for lunch or not, it's probably like noon to 3-ish.
Okay. Early afternoon. Got it. Okay. I will knock on the door.
Oh, one moment! You hear shuffling on the other side. You hear, like, a tumble of, like, books and, like, objects. Something crashes. Something breakable sounds like it shatters in the room. And then the door unlocks.
How many locks?
And it creaks open. You see a horribly old tiefling. She has deep wrinkles in her face, like this. Her cheeks sag below her jawline. She is currently in, like, a wheelchair. She has, like, these old frail horns that come around the side of her head. And as she pulls the door open, she goes, "Who's on the other side? Is it the mail boy? I haven't gotten my mail for the day."
Nope, not the mail.
The mail boy knows to bring it up here. I can't go down the stairs and collect it from the mailbox. He knows to bring it up.
Yeah, fair. I am not delivering your mail. I just had a couple questions for you. If you have a couple minutes.
Oh, I have a couple minutes. Is this about the mail?
No.
No, ma'am.
Oh. Okay. Come on in. And she just lets the door swing open, and she, like, wheels herself back into the room. She goes, "You interrupted my crocheting."
I'm terribly sorry. Feel free to continue.
That's okay, I will. And you see that she starts crocheting. There's no yarn anywhere involved in this process. Like, she just has her what are those, the crocheting tools?
Needles?
The hook and is that
Latch?
called crocheting hooks? I think that's what they call
Yeah.
it. She has her crocheting hooks, and she's doing the motions, but there is no yarn.
So
Yeah. Yes.
I'm currently working on a study, a biography of a Mr. What's his name?
Resbin Von Fair.
Resbin Von Fair.
Who are you looking for?
Resbin Von Fair.
You want his biology?
Kind of.
Oh.
I don't know if we're gonna get anything reliable out of her.
Something.
I know we joked about crazy, but This is a little.
Still
This is a
hear
lot.
you.
I don't know if she can.
She turns to you, Orianna, and she goes, I'm right here, young man. I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
So I'm looking for information as to his personal life. I've noticed that he used to live here. Did you know him?
I haven't lived with anybody since my husband, who passed away 50 years ago. Maybe it was 60 years ago. I thank every day that he's gone.
Okay. Blessed be you then. Did you know Mr. Von Fair?
Von Fair? You mean the boy that lives across the hall? Or in the wall? That one. And she points directly to Juliet's apartment.
Yes, precisely that one. Have you seen him recently?
Oh yes, he was busy coming in and out. He was writing his books. And my husband was helping him carry up the groceries the other day. And then my husband died 50 years ago. Maybe 60. Now
have
that
you seen...
beautiful, beautiful mail boy brings me my groceries.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Newbinder.
Yes, of course.
Best of luck with your mittens.
Thank you so much. I'm almost done with these mittens. They'll be done before winter.
Oh,
just
great.
leave the mail on the counter. That's fine.
Perfect. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much.
That woman needs severe help. I guess we'll go back out to the hallway.
Yeah, immediately leave the apartment. I didn't sit down or touch anything in this room.
Beautiful.
So we did learn almost something.
Did we?
It was a guess before, and now it's certain.
I guess so. Yeah, we confirmed that he has lived here.
He lived here. I'm gonna point at the Keter store.
Yeah.
He might still live here. So, I guess now we break in.
I guess now is the time to break in. So we're going in and we're looking for the book. Is there anything, before we get in there, is there anything else we need? We're just getting the book and getting out?
As far as I know. Did you have anything you needed from...
Just making sure. I don't know. If something goes off or alarm or someone sees us, I just want to make sure we grab it, get what we need and go.
Ooh, do you think maybe we should look for her sphere?
We'll keep an eye out, but okay. I highly doubt
if
she's
just got it laying around, we'll grab it. Yeah, sounds good.
If she has it just laying around, then I would be really concerned that she was nearby.
Then we definitely need to grab it. She's nothing without it.
Yes.
Renshor,
we're on the same page.
Renshor, can you make a history check? Actually, just an intelligence check for me. This is just your memory.
My memory?
Your memory.
Oh, I'm intelligent. Oh boy! 23.
23. You rack your brain, and in this moment, you, both in the carriage and at the ritual, you never saw Mother hold a sphere. She might have one, you never saw it.
Oh no.
I'm fairly certain her sphere is red. I don't know why. I just got that vibe.
We saw Father with his sphere. We saw him casting it.
Yeah. Yeah, Mother might not have one. But if she does, and she left it outside, like, just out and about, we grab it, yeah. Otherwise, we might be screwed. Okay, book. How do you want to do this? Do you want to just... Pick it. Kick it.
Well, I'm not that great with lock picks. And I mean, you picked the last time. Or I can help you kick it down.
I'm not very good at lockpicks either. That might have been Eleanor that got it last time.
Oh, with her hairpins.
I think so. I think I just made them. She did it.
Yeah, I think
kick
you're
it.
right.
Kick it.
Yeah. What's going to be faster, breaking it or picking the lock? I can assist you in breaking the door down. Or I could watch you try to pick the lock.
No, let's try and break it in. Eleanor was the better one for picking.
Okay. You want to kick the door down
Yeah.
together?
Yeah, together.
Alright,
Sweet.
we're going to kick the door down.
I love it. Both of you give me strength checks.
Mine's
Or,
at disadvantage.
Or athletic. Yeah. Do athletics check
Okay.
with, and Orianna, you do it with disadvantage, or you can give Renshor advantage.
No, I'm... You said athletics?
It would be athletics.
Or...
Actually, no, this is just strength. This is straight strength.
Okay. I think I'm going to roll for it. I feel pretty confident. I can do good. I'm strong.
I like it. Yeah.
I'm going to roll it with disadvantage.
You do it with disadvantage, and then Renshor, if you want to throw a kick in there as well, you can make a roll.
Yeah, I threw my kick.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. It's a 7.
It's a nat 1.
Oh.
Oh, no.
You both kick the door. It thumps, does not open, and you
We're
hear.
not coordinated. We don't hit it at the same time.
No, it's two separate
It
thumps.
goes like boom.
Yeah. And you hear a voice from Newt Binder's apartment go, "Oh my goodness, what was that?" And that's all you hear.
One more time.
here's-
One more time. Do it again. One
Hold
more
on.
time.
Here's a crazy thought. Can I just try the doorknob?
Yeah,
Is it
sure.
unlocked?
Yeah, it's
Is it
unlocked. Yeah, it's totally
I'll
unlocked.
open the door.
We should start with that.
Probably. It wasn't even in the list. I gave you 2 options. One of them was not trying the door. Okay. Can we slowly creep the door open?
Yeah. As you
After trying to bash the door down, we're gonna slowly creep the door open now.
the door
Think
bangs.
about they don't know that we know that the door is open. They still think we're gonna try and knock it down.
The door creaks open, and
Oh,
as
it's loud.
you gaze into the Ketter's apartment, we're going to end tonight's session of City of Shadows. If you also want to break in to Juliet Ketter's apartment, make sure you like and subscribe for our next episode of City of Shadow. Until we meet again over another round, the 4 rings in.
Is it really breaking in if we got a cloak and the cloaks have been in and out? Like, it's a crime scene.
That's true.